All right, let's lock in these final facts with a high-energy sprint review to help you absolutely crush your ICWIM exam.
We're skipping all the fluff today and diving straight into the hardest, most highly testable concepts you need to memorize right now. Let's get right to work.
Kicking things off with Section 1, Market Roles and Structures.
So think of retail as everyday individual investors, like you and me. Wholesale, on the other hand, is the massive institutional plumbing of the financial system, like interbank lending.
Now, for exam purposes, discretionary means the portfolio manager can take action without getting prior approval. But advisory, that means they just recommend. The client always makes the final decision there.
Keep in mind, a custodian only safekeeps and administers assets. They explicitly do not make investment decisions. Guys, that is a classic trap question, so watch out for it.
And the exam loves testing the structural difference. Building societies are mutually owned by their members, whereas banks are proprietary, meaning they're owned by shareholders.
Moving at a brisk pace, let's hit Section 2, Regulation and Global Standards.
You need to associate the BIS with international monetary cooperation, the FSB with monitoring global systemic risk, and IOSCO strictly with global security standards. Keep those lanes clear.
Lock these Basel III pillars in exact order. Pillar 1 is minimum capital requirements. Pillar 2 is supervisory review, and Pillar 3 is market discipline, which is really all about disclosure.
When you see MiFID II, which kicked in January 2018, that is your absolute keyword for best execution and client categorization rules across the EU.
All right, next up, Section 3, Financial Crime and AML.
Money laundering follows a very strict three-stage sequence. You've got placement first, then layering, and finally integration.
Emphasize the absolute extreme here. Placement is the most detectable stage. Why? Because it's when illicit cash physically first enters the financial system.
You also need to contrast standard customer due diligence, which is required for everyone, against enhanced due diligence. That enhanced level is triggered strictly by higher-risk clients.
And here's a golden rule for you. If you see politically exposed persons, or PEPs, on the test, the answer literally always involves enhanced due diligence, no exceptions.
Burn this number into your memory right now. 14 years. That's the maximum UK penalty for principal money laundering offenses. 14 years.
Conversely, the maximum penalty for tipping off a suspect about a suspicious activity report, a SAR, is just 2 years. Make sure you keep those penalties distinct.
Okay, home stretch. Section 4, Investment Mechanics and Calculations. Greater than $6 trillion. That massive figure is the daily global FX turnover. It makes it the largest financial market by volume in the entire world. Pretty wild, right? Know the difference between these two. The clean price ignores accrued interest, but the dirty price adds it in. And remember, the dirty price is what the buyer actually ends up paying.
Think of this one like a seesaw. There is an absolute inverse relationship. If bond yields go up, bond prices must come down, every single time.
You've got to memorize the flat yield formula. Annual coupon divided by clean price times 100. But strictly remember that this calculation completely ignores any capital gain or loss at maturity.
Finally, contrast ordinary shares, which carry voting rights and variable dividends, with preference shares. Preference shares ditch the vote entirely in exchange for a fixed priority payout.
Well, you've got the facts and you've got the formulas. Before you walk into that testing center, ask yourself, which of these 4 sections is still your weakest link? Go review that specific one right now. Good luck and go ace that exam.